Welcome back. Let's now get you some important domestic macro cues. India's current account deficit for April to June quarter came in at $9.2 billion, much higher than $1.3 billion in quarter 4 and higher than expectations as well. Latha is here with the highlights and her analysis as well. Latha.
Well, the current account deficit is lower than what it was a year ago. We are now talking about the April, May, June quarter. But if you compare it to quarter ago, Q4, then the current account deficit is 1.1% of GDP in the quarter that we have just reported, April, May, June. And the previous Q4, it was only 0.2. Now, that performance was so good that the expectation was this quarter, April, May, June also, we will at least report lower than 1%. To that extent, it's a bit of a worry. I just want to say that it's not a huge one. We were very comfortable in current account deficit. Now we are comfortable in current account deficit. So it's not a worry. It's just that it's lower than people thought. The key reason is what I would worry a little more. And that is because services exports are plateauing. In fact, they have fallen compared to Q4. And that's a bit of a bother because we were doing so well over there. There's a category called business services. This is different from software services. Okay, I'm not counting the the Infosys of the world. Business services are audit, legal, other things that India, the middle office that India is now specializing in, that has fallen from $22.2 billion in Q4 to $21.6 billion in Q1. Again, it's not the number that is that's very different, but the fact that it has fallen, because for the last 12 quarters, we've been rising steadily, and that's a bit of a bother that it's, peaking off. The other number that's disappointed me a bit is remittances, Indians living abroad and sending money. This has been a big mainstay for India. First, in the 70s, 80s, it was the Gulf remittances. From 1991 onwards, it's the IT company remittances. Now, this also has fallen, not by much, 28.4 billion, 28.7 billion in Q4 and 27.1 billion in April, May, June. It's a minor fall, but we've not seen a fall. It's been a steadily rising number for as long as I can remember, and that's why this is a bit of a bother. Is our services exports now reached its peak? The strong capital flows that we have got through FDI is more than enough to bridge our current account deficit, which in any case, it is not very big, all of $9 billion. But it's important to note that capital flows, especially FDI was very good. Not so much FII, but with rising crude prices, the current account deficit is likely to be a little wider in the current quarter, Q3 and Q4. And if services are peaking off, then our current account deficit perhaps will not be, less than 1.5%, which most of us thought. It will be less than 1.5% of GDP. Maybe it will be a little north of 1.5% of GDP. Again, not a worry, but it is just that we were so proud of it, it now looks just a little less shiny.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Latha, for making sense of those current account deficit numbers. So from very comfortable, we've moved to comfortable position is the take.